What up, folks? Formulating content and try not to ramble and go too far on the time. Giving you the best that I can give based on a solid foundation of truth. I want to talk about under-leveraging. Under-leveraging. I got out of my silver trade. It was a nice run. Most people who get involved in trading deal with lot sizes, and I don't want to go too far into rocket science. But basically, with futures trading, you deal with contracts. And the topic today is under-leveraging. And you can use this concept because it's the truth, right? How much do you have is how much you can utilize. The easiest way to understand it is using your own money. So if you have $100, then that's what you have. You can't go past 100. If you do, you've lost your money. That means every time you put an entry in, it has to be like $1. Well, if that dollar doesn't win, then that dollar loses. Now you don't have 100, you have 99. It's not fun. Let's just say that's why there's leverage. You can get a leveraged account. But I don't want to make rocket science out of it. But just imagine that 100 is multiplied times 10. Now you have 1,000, right? That's leverage. So you won't just be trading 100. You're able to trade 1,000, and your broker will allow you to do that. Now they give you these deals. Well, for $50, you can get access to $25,000. For $100, you can get access to $50,000 of trading capital, right? That's how you get your leverage. You use their money. Many brokers that allows you to do this. People are very stubborn. And we're defensive because we get abused by the system. We always think someone's out to take advantage of us. And they are. Predators everywhere. I don't want to make this too long. It's the reason why a lot of folks can't understand when you're trying to give them something to help them. They don't know that it's help. They think you're trying to sell them something. They think they think that you want them to pay you something. I'm handing it to you for free, the knowledge, the information, so that you can take it and use it. That's what my whole channel is about. I do it for free. Maybe you want to pay $50 and get access to $25,000 or $100 for access to $150,000 of trading capital. And then follow the channel and start seeing what we're talking about here and start getting yourself involved in gold, silver, the metals market, or the S&P 500, the Dow Jones, the Russell 2000, the stock market, or the oil, or natural gas, or Bitcoin, all these different types of markets. How do you get involved? You have to have a trading account. And then you can make that $25,000 work for you. I say make $100 a day. Most people want to make $1 million and they blow their account left and right because they're doing too much. So, again, I closed my silver trade. I'm still in natural gas. And understand that these are contracts. That means they expire. So instead of me going all the way up with silver and then letting it come back down by 50% and I lose half what I made, I go ahead and take it while it's on the way up. Now I got to figure out how to get back in to go back down with a sell position so that I can gain capital on and put it on the buy. I'm selling to buy. Very important. That's not what this message is about today. But you do want to sell to buy in most cases because markets are built to go up. That means you want to buy the market. But you can sell the market, make money on the way down, turn around and put that money you made on the buy position. And that's price trapping. That's what I call it, price trapping. Selling at the very top, buying at the very bottom, and staying out the middle. That's really what I teach through the basic scale of 100. And again, under leveraging, you notice that my entries are only at a 1. They're not at a 2 or a 3 or a 4 or a 5 or a 10. Just 1. You see how much damage I can do with 1. And just as much damage as I can do to the positive, I could also lose that much to the negative. I shouldn't be losing $100. I don't even want to lose 100. You see, I call it Smurf Village. I'm in the blue. I'm not in the red. Oh, OG don't show losses because I'm not really losing. I'm not saying I don't lose, but it's very rare that I lose because I have enough capital to sustain drawdowns. And that's why I'm showing you my portfolio. It's not completely green. Some of the stuff is in the negative. And that's okay because stocks are built to go up. It doesn't mean that all companies are just going to make it. Some can go bankrupt. But as long as you use the right process of under leveraging, then you don't really lose much. And that's what I'm showing you on my portfolio. Because we were talking about trading, which is leverage, and stocks, my personal portfolio, one of them at least, where you're buying 1 for 1. This is not leverage. It moves different. So I just want to make this clear today. If you buy one stock for $1.50, it costs $1.50. In trading, that's multiplied times 100. It's different, right? That's why it's easier to maintain a portfolio than trading leverage. Investing is a form of trading, but it's not leverage. The more you pay attention, the more it'll make sense to you. That's why I'm constantly making videos, making content of doing things the right way. It's not my perception of the right way. This is absolutely the right way. 10 shares by the $15 discount is $150. 10 shares at the $4 discount is $40. 100 shares at $1.50 is $150. What would I rather have? $150 at $15 for 10 shares, or $150 at $1.50, 100 shares? Of course, I want the bottom. It doesn't mean that it's going to win, but you want to buy at discounted rates and you want to under leverage. Do I want to spend $1,000 at $1.50? No. This is called risk tolerance. You have to develop your risk tolerance. If you have $100,000, then you can do $1,000 at $1.50. But if you don't have $100,000, then why would you put $1,000 at $1.50? Just put $100 at $1.50. Well, 100 shares at $150 is $150. Now, if the company goes out of business, I only lose $150, but it has to go to zero from $1.50 under leverage. I'm trying to make my money go in there and work and make me money, their money. I don't need to put $1,000 at $1.50. I'm only going to put $100, $150 at $1.50. And then let the market do whatever it wants to do. And once it gets to $150, from $1.50 to $150 for 100 shares, You do the math. And then once I can get that taken care of, I could come back down here and find a newer company that's starting down at $1.50 and start with 100 shares for $150. I've created the blueprint for the people and not the profits. I had to find the truth myself and apply it. Nobody taught me this. I created the concepts. So, and that's what my channel is about, paying it forward and giving it to the people. It's not about how much money I make. That's why I don't really show my totals. I'll show entry points and I'll show trades that I make and stuff like that, and even some of my portfolios. But I don't show my totals because it's not necessary. This is not the clout train. I'm not here doing the dance. I'm here to help people get to the business. But I've been doing this for about 8 years. Before I even became profitable, I've always been leading groups and communicating with people and just showing them what I'm doing along the way. And hopefully they're able to take it and apply it and get motivated. People are very lazy. Some people just want to see your numbers. They're pocket watching. They don't want to do the work. It's disheartening because you're just fucking sitting there. So get your ass up and do some work. So, and there's no boss. You're the boss. People don't even know how to tell themselves what to do. They don't want nobody to tell them what to do, and they can't even tell themselves what to do. They're just in that nasty little rut. Now I'm in here trying to slap trying to keep it clean, because it's very frustrating when people want donations and shit, but they don't want to do the work. If you have the money, would you give a donate? You don't have no money. That's why you can't give a donation. You wouldn't give no donation, because once you have the money, you're just gonna keep it because you just want it for yourself. You don't have nothing to give. You gotta flip the script. You gotta flip your thinking and help people, right? So I try not to drop the F-bombs. This ain't for cloud. This ain't for monetization. None of that. I'm doing it because it's necessary. And consistently and persistently to beat the market. You have to become the market. The market will move with integrity. Do you have integrity? Do you really? Because there's a price map that moves on integrity. And if you have integrity, right, you can develop integrity through the price. Because if you don't, you're going to keep getting wrecked. You're going to keep losing. You're going to keep going to loss review. And you're going to keep talking about that it's the psychology. You're undisciplined. We're here to wreck all those spirits. Undisciplined, rebellious, lazy, monitoring, predatory type spirits. So hold that. I'll be here saying what I got to say at all times. You know what I mean? And I want you to be able to utilize the information. Use it. It's not meant for me to just win and then that's it, that's all. And then everybody else is like peasants or peons. No, that's not what we're doing. So get to the business. Shout out to my team. Every day, shout out to my team. The people that cross the line in the sand. They're not just sitting in the back like zombies. They're getting to the business. Hey.